complete idiots. You know that story about the guys get together at the high school reunion after 20 years and the dumbest guy in the class is richer than all of them put together? And they said, how on earth could you do this? I mean, you weren't very much of a student. He said, I found this manufacturer that sold stuff for $1, and I could import it and sell it for $3 and make a profit. He said, it's amazing what you can do on 3% profit. You meet complete idiots who are rich. The quality is that they persist longer.
Yeah, threw you off there, didn't I? You just entered the Savvy Radio Show. Little new intro. Well, it's not a new intro. It's a song that just kind of pumped me up this day today. And I'm in the studio just solo, and I wanted to cover a bunch of stuff today. And anyway, inspired me that it's not about education by a degree. It's about education like this podcast and to get things done. All right. The question I get a lot is, how do I find deals? Well, I'm going to bust out 12 and maybe even throw in a bonus. But here we go. Number one, you got to tell people what you're doing. You got to tell people that you're a real estate investor. You got to act like it. You got to be like it. You got to feel like it. Go out and make some business cards. Vistaprint.com, or you can go to Fiverr.com or somewhere. But get business cards created. Don't worry about the name. The only thing you need to worry about is put I buy houses or we buy houses. Don't worry about a website. Get a phone number, get your email on there, and tell the world that you're buying houses. Number two, get with wholesalers. Get on wholesalers' lists. I was talking to someone today. They're like, well, how do you get on the list? Well, call off the bandit sign. He's like, what's a bandit sign? Well, the bandit sign is a little sign that's on a telephone pole, or it's on the side of the street and has a phone number and it says we buy houses. Well, call that individual and connect with them and say, hey, I want to be on the buyer's list. Okay, put me on the list. And they may ask you a series of questions like what houses you're looking for or what area. Just act like you know what you're talking about. And if you don't, call the next bandit sign, and then you'll learn and you keep growing. But build relationships with wholesalers. I love wholesalers. I invite them over to my house, to the office, to lunch. Whatever I can do to take care of a wholesaler. Majority of my dealers are from wholesalers. They know that I can close. So build a relationship with wholesalers. Get on their list, as many lists as you can get a part of, and have them start feeding you deals. Okay? Number three, realtor love. All right. Now, I'm not a big fan of realtors. I really am. I just tease them a lot, because the game of real estate involves realtors, and there's a lot. We're going to have an episode on realtors, but I tease them and bash them for fun. But how I do it, I got several realtors, 3 right now that I work with, and I set up searches with them. I find out if they're investor friendly, and then I ask them to set up searches and on this criteria, on this area, and I'll have a couple of realtors send me 3 different realtors send me the same lead. And then I'll just kind of, just out of integrity, I'll just choose the one that's been working with me, or one helped me find an apartment building and another one helped me sell a property. And so I'm not, let's say, loyal to each one. I like them all, but I got to build relationships. I got to expand my business. I got to grow my business. And I feel that if you're just locked into one realtor, it may slow you down. So get at least 3 realtors, build relationships with 3 realtors. We'll have an episode on how to qualify a realtor, see if they're down and they know what they're doing. But any realtor can set up a search on the MLS for you, and they send you leads every day of your criteria. Here's some things that you need to put in there. Put handyman special, put expired listings, do investor special. Did I say that already? I don't know. Anyway, investor special, handyman special, motivated. Google it up. You can find some keywords to tell your realtor to set up a search for you. All right. Another one is Facebook. You got to show and tell what you do. You buy houses. Even if you've never bought a house before, you can still go to a real estate club meeting, or you can come to the landlord lunch and check in at Facebook, and people are going to be like, what are you doing at the landlord lunch? Well, I'm learning about real estate. I buy houses, and opens up a conversation. And next thing you know, boom, her friend is selling a house and she calls you, and, I got a really good realtor that calls me all the time. He's got a coach, and he's like, I got to get another listing at the end of the month. And it's like, it's the 30th. He's got like one day he's calling me. Do you have a house for a listing, or do you know someone? I was like, well, by chance I do. My next door neighbor said that he was considering selling his house. His name is Tim. Call him. And that realtor is doing his job. He called them, and they weren't going to sell right now, but I guarantee that they may call him. So Facebook. Next one is Craigslist, number 5. I use Craigslist every day. I searches on my phone, and I put my criteria in there, and I check it out. So go to Craigslist. I've actually bought and flipped a property wholesale with the help of a friend of mine. Sean buys houses, hooked me up and walked me through the process. And Thomas in Nashville helped me because I wasn't going to get it under contract. And next thing you know, I flipped this property, and within 6 weeks, or less than 6 weeks, actually it was like less than a month, and it was all through Craigslist. I also use LoopNet. I think it's .com or .net, doesn't matter, but it's loopnet.net something or .com. But look, I found a commercial building on there, flipped the commercial building on LoopNet. You can do the same. I actually found a really good commercial realtor through LoopNet. The players are on there. It's for commercial people, for large multifamilies and commercial properties. But there's deals on there. There's packages of like 10 houses that are for sale on LoopNet. Check that out. Number 7, the number of completeness. RIAs, Real Estate Investment Associations, RIAs, whatever, networking, whatever you want to call it. But there's tons of deals at real estate club meetings. You go in the back of the room, there's a table with 10 flyers on there with houses for sale. I've bought houses that way. I've sold houses that way. I've ran into wholesalers that way. Go to your RIA meeting, connect with them. In Oklahoma City, we have a couple of RIA groups. They're on my website, landlordlunch.com, and click on it. One's on the first Thursday of the month. One's on the second Thursday. And the Landlord Lunch that I put together, landlordlunch.com, is on Wednesdays. It's free. Check it out. Number 8, flyers and signs. I interviewed Jonathan yesterday, and that's how he got his several deals, walking in the neighborhood, handing out a flyer. I knew a guy that mentored me, I believe was one of the greatest wholesalers in Oklahoma City. He would literally hire people, an army of people, and print 5,000 flyers and just attack neighborhoods. He was selling so many deals, he couldn't even keep up with it. He would just pay someone, I think, 10 or 12 cents a door and stick them on their door with a Scotch tape. But you got to have flyers and signs. I know a rehabber, Andrew Cross, out there. He has a house in Moore with a tornado. He's got a giant 20-foot by 4-foot banner, I buy houses. You got to let people know that you buy houses. Even if you don't have any money, you're listening to this podcast, you put out a flyer, you get a deal, and you call me and I'll buy it and I'll pay you for the lead. It's called bird dogging. You shouldn't lose by putting out flyers and signs. Number 9, direct mail. Find a zip code. You can download a list of houses, absentee landlords, or whatever, and do direct mail. You'll get some great leads that way. You can farm them out, you can wholesale them, or you can get smoking deals. All right, number 10. You'd think that'd be number 1. Number 10, MLS. Now, I don't have access to MLS, and that's a big question I get a lot. Well, should I get my real estate license? No. You don't need a real estate license. Let the realtors be realtors and let you be an investor. But I still I have access on the ghetto version or the fake version that doesn't have all the details. But I chrome, whatever the freak you want to call it. But I climb all over the MLS and I look at certain zip codes in certain areas. I love the MLS. I can just type in a zip code. It pops up and I'm like, I guess that's crawling, and it pops up every house that's for sale in that neighborhood. It's money. Do it. MLS. Number 11, HUDHomestore.com. Pretty simple. Smoking deals on HUDHomestore.com. This is not the podcast to get into that, but check that out as well. and auction websites. I bought a house at hubzu.com. That's HUBZU.com. And it was the easiest transaction. I got title insurance, clear title, won the bid. Next thing you know, they emailed me the code for the key, and we're down the road. And it's already been rehabbed. You might want to try auction.com. That's another place where I find great deals. I have a friend of mine, she's killing it, and she's bought like 3 or 4 houses through auction.com, and incredible. All right, so that's 12 ways to find deals. There's no reason, no excuse that you can't find houses. I find houses every day. I can't even buy them all. And I go through this process every day or every other day. You know, it's that simple, but you have to do it every day. Every day I'm looking for deals. Think of it like this. So your eyes are closed, and someone on the 3rd floor just takes a bag of money and throws it over the side. And all of a sudden, dollars are just flying down, but you got your blindfold on. That's how many deals are out there. You're just not trained and know that they're there. Here's your bonus of this podcast. Call banks directly. A lot of community banks have some REOs. You just call the president or the vice president and introduce yourself and say, hey, I'm a real estate investor. I came across your bank. Someone said that you possibly may have some deals or a foreclosure. I'm buying foreclosures right now. I would love to talk to you about it. Can you send me the information? Boom. That's simple. If you like this podcast, awesome. I'd appreciate any comments. Post it on Facebook. Spread the word. Tell people about the Savvy Radio Show. Hopefully this inspires you. Hopefully the track that we're about to play inspires you. And whatever you do, find financial freedom.
Find more things as a result of what you learn. Take action, and then persist longer. And if you'll do that, your success is guaranteed.
Yeah, so what'd you think of the music? That's smoothmix.com. Roy Smooth. That's SMOOTHEMIXX.com. First of all, if you don't know about Smooth Mix, they're over in Europe. They're incredible. It's him and his son mixes Dennis Waitley, Jim Rohn, all the coolest motivational stuff. So this is Brian Tracy to beats. Okay, go to Smooth. That's with E at the end and then 2 X's. So it's SMOOTHEMIXX.com to just buy every record. I have every album from them, and I buy them from Amazon, and I blow up my phone and I work out to it. Support this cat. They're incredible. If you can't remember the link, that's fine. Go to my website, thesavvyradioshow.com, and there's a link there. Support. We're going to have more of their music on the podcast. I love those guys. Support them. Smoothmix.com.
You'll find that every single person who is successful learned more things, tried more things, persisted until they succeeded. And every person who's a failure didn't. And what keeps you doing this is optimism. It's an attitude that no matter what happens, I will eventually succeed. Only a matter of time. It doesn't matter what's going on now. If I just keep trying more things and persisting longer, I will succeed. And by gum, that becomes your fact. That becomes the fact of life. What are your 3 most important goals in life right now? 3 most important goals in life right now. What are your 3 most important goals? Okay, now I know what your 3 goals are. They were a financial goal, a relationship goal, and a health goal.